Welcome back, everyone. Today is time to finally start putting down this floor, and I'm going to show you a clip here of when they were delivered. I wasn't really crazy. I don't like when things are dropped off a truck, whether it be just lumber or especially trusses, but the guy kind of did it. I think he didn't know they were going to come off. I was yelling to him, as you'll see in the clip, but normally what I've seen drivers do is they lock the rollers on one side and they'll let half of it come off, and then they'll do the other ones. But I just, $20,000 worth of floor trusses to drop on the ground, and a couple of them had got damaged, which I showed them. But anyway, it's par for the course here. Floor trusses have arrived. Yep, there they go. All right, well, here they are. I don't like when they dump them off like that. I moved this one with the skid steer. I didn't take any video of it because I didn't like it being on an angle. But whatever it did, you could hear it when they slid down unevenly. I mean, if I was going to do it, I know other lumber places, they'll put the brakes on some of the rollers and let one go off so they all don't go together, because that one ended up on top of that one on an angle, which is not good for it to be stored like that. I don't like the racking of it. I would have preferred to unload it myself, but anyway. But I found that piece, bent that one off, broke a couple of bands on there, so I can't see where that piece comes from, but I let them know. So if there's any damage, they don't blame me for it, because you can see on the side where it caught them. You could hear it too. You can see that strap is almost broken. I can't tell where that piece broke off from, but it definitely broke off. It's a small one, but it's on the top. So I don't know. I'll find out. I don't want to move any more of them. I want to leave them level because I'm not ready to install them yet. But we shall see when I get to it. All right, so I've got to add some 2x2 piers in for LVL beams that need to go in for the floor trusses, where I didn't know where they were going to go until they got me the plans, which took a while. But I just wanted to show anybody that thinks that this so-called sand isn't good building stuff. Here's a concrete nail. I used it to mark the holes out in the center, but, well, I already broke this up, but look at that. I can't even pull it out. I can't even pull it out of the dirt. Look at that. So you think I didn't compact this? Yeah. I had to go get a bar. Look at that. Yeah, it's compacted. I'm almost tempted, because I'm right near the edge, to bring the Mini over here, and it's just, you know, even with an 18-inch bucket, you can break it loose, but it'll just make, it won't be a nicey nice hole. So I'll do it the old-fashioned way, but I'm tempted. So right now I'm going to start putting the sills down. What I didn't realize with the split block that I used, that we wanted to use, is the width varies. Like a normal block is 7.5 inches wide, and these go anywhere from 7.5 to 8 inches with the split face, which is fine as long as you know, I'm trying to figure out what the masons did, you know, as far as where they measured from, because basically what they should have done was taken what the final measurement on the outside was supposed to be and subtract 7.5 inches, so they knew where to snap the line, because, you know, the inside of the split block is just like a normal block. It's the outside, so you can't measure off the outside. So I don't know if you can see the lines, but Miss Wonderful gave me a hand snapping some lines, getting them square. They did a pretty decent job. A couple of places are off. I could fix it, but I got all these tools up here because I just put I got all the piers in, so I was just filling them solid. But I mean, you can see right here, I mean, that's 1 1/8 inches, and you can see how it goes down. But when you check the square from the inside, when I check it with the front, it's within 1/16 of an inch. So it's really just the way the block are made. So it makes it a little bit more difficult, especially when you're putting them down by yourself. So what I'm going to do is, there's a 2x6 sill that goes down here. There's a foam sill insulation that goes underneath it. I'm going to get those down, and then I'm going to get the TGI, they're not TGIs, the floor trusses ready to go. They're all strapped down, and I've got LVL beams that have to be put in, and you'll see all that. But first thing I have to do is get the sills down so I know the height of the LVLs. So that's what I'm going to start working on right now. Alright, so there's your 2x6. Here is your, doesn't matter what brand, this is what they happen to have. It's a foam, just a sill sealer, fills in any voids, keeps out the bugs, at least in theory. But it gets bolted down, so it's a 3/4 inch wrench. They're 5/8. bolts. So basically what you do is get it in place. I know where this needs to go based on the thickness this way, and again, it doesn't really matter if you're off a little bit here because it's on the inside and nothing sits there, so it doesn't matter. So what you do is you mark the bolts. I've got straps in here, so I've got to mark those as well to notch them. These were for the inspector. These were not needed for this application, but he gave me a hard time because he doesn't know what he's doing, so I put them in anyway, and they're going to do absolutely nothing except give me a hard time. So basically you mark this like that, get the center, and then you measure back off the line, because all 2x, no matter what it is, 2x6, 2x4, 2x10, whatever, 2x12, they're all different. They're all different thicknesses: 5.5, 5 5/8, 5 3/4. So you can't measure off the back side. You have to go from the front, what you're going to use. And what you want to do is, with the grain pattern, the way they cut it out of a tree, you want it to look like the St. Louis arch. You want the high part of the arch to be on top. That's a question that people ask a lot, but you should have the grain, the rings being up like that, kind of like my hand. You don't want it like that because it'll cup. It'll be the wrong way. So that's pretty much it. Drill them, notch them, and use a staple gun. I use a tack, like a tack hammer, to put the foam on the back, and put it right down, right over the things, bolt it down. And these are never straight, so you want to, the way I like to do it anyway, is I like to have what's called the crown, which is the high side. Again, it would be like the top of the arch, be on the outside, so you can push it out rather than have to pull it in when you start. It just makes it a little easier, I find, to do it that way. But you can do it any way you like. So this one runs down. We'll get the parallel one on that side, and these are all 12-inch floor trusses that are 16 on center, not 24 on center. I cannot stand, I don't really like trusses. I like these floor trusses because they're strong. You can span this distance without needing a pier and girders underneath on this one. But, you know, they'll tell you you can go 24 on center. And if you go 24 on center, you're going to have nothing but problems. Whether it be the roof or the floor. If it's the floor, you have to put 2 layers of sheathing down. If you do the roof, you've got to use clips. I use 5/8 CDX plywood anyway on the roof, and you don't need to use clips. It comes out nice and flat. So, you know, they even argue, the truss guy argued with me about it, that, oh, you don't need it. Okay, if I want, well, you're going to make more money because I'm buying more, right? Don't argue with me. It's the better way to do it. I've been doing this for 47 years. Just go 16 on center. Don't ever go 24 on center. It's horrible. All right, here's a look. You can see the line, nice and straight. You can see how the block varies, but we're the same distance on the inside. So that is just something you get with these, because they're all different. And I use the impact, suck those down, and then I also shoot them with a ram set after, in at the ends, and every 16 inches I do it. So basically it's held down everywhere there is a floor truss, so don't have to worry about it going anywhere. All right, here's an interim on the sills, about 400 feet of sills to go down, and I let this one run long because this wall needs to be built out 3 feet. So that's there. I will do that when I get back from Thanksgiving in Tennessee, which you probably won't see any of this until after we're back, but that's where we will be for Thanksgiving for the week. And there you go. You can see it's all run around. they did a pretty good job. They're pretty close. They were pretty square, I have to say. Only off just a little bit, but I fixed it. I'm worried more about the truss people, but we'll talk about that later. So here's the last one. So you can see, again, just measure back from this from the line to here. They left a little rebar sticking up, so I'm just going to make that notch bigger rather than have to drill that out. Or maybe I'll drill it out, who knows. It doesn't really matter. These aren't really doing too much. There's another rebar sticking up. This was at the end of the day. They were ready for some modelos at this point, but yep, I just got to mark this one, go cut it, drill it, put the sill insulation on, bolt it down, and then I'm going to get the piers to the right height. So we'll pick this up again when we get to that. All right, so I just shot this with the laser. I didn't shoot me doing it, but so this is where I've got to bring that to, and this just needs to go. That's how much that needs to go. So I'll work it out with blocks and with 2x, because you don't want an LVL which is not pressure treated. You don't want that sitting on concrete, so you got to have pressure treated in between it. So you try to get it between 1.5 inches and 3 inches. So this way it's 2, and that's those are right in there. So, and this one's good to go. That one's, the far end is good to go with the block. I don't have the block in there, but and then I'll do those after. But I'm running out of daylight, so I want to get this side done. So at least this will be set for me to set at least this LVL on it tomorrow. Not much light left. It's only, what is it, 5:45, but it's dark. Just putting everything away. Everything's done. All the piers are capped off to the height with the laser, so those are good to go for tomorrow. And now I just got to put everything away, and I'm exhausted. All right, so now what I need to do is, as you saw before, all the trusses are on the ground. We're getting ready to go away for Thanksgiving, and I want to get them off the ground, not set in place, but set where they're on the respective walls of where they're going. So here's the truss layout. You won't be able to read them all on there, but they're all numbered. All the numbers are on them so that you know where they go. They give you what side you start from and the spacing. These are 16 on center, and a few of them are 1 foot on center. Nothing is bigger than 16 on center. I'm not a 24 on center kind of guy. I've never liked that. There's no reason. You don't really save any money. I'll go into details on it later as to why. But anyway, I'm going to go right now. I need to make the LVL up here. I need to make this one. This one is the biggest one. This one is about 35 feet long. This one is, I have it written down. This one is 23 foot, and this one is almost 26 foot. So I'm going to make those up. I'm going to nail them right up on the pile, and I'm going to get them down into place. As you saw, all the piers are ready to go within shimming distance of being ready for placement. So I'm going to get working on that right now. All right, it's time to pull this pile apart, and the first thing I need to do is get the LVLs, which you'll see, which there's 3 beams that go across that they're not really, well, one of them's holding, but the other 2 are just holding bounce. So there won't be any bounce, which I don't think there'd be bounce anyway, because I'm 16 on center, but it still will stiffen it up even more. So they banded it up nicely. I'm going to shoot these on the pile because they're straight when I put them together, because they're 2 3/4 inch LVLs. These are 38 feet long. They only need to be 35 feet long. So I'm going to cut a little bit off the end here, so I have a piece to use as a template, so I can get the proper height on those piers. So I want to cut that now, and I'm trying to do this. Today is Sunday before Thanksgiving. We are leaving on Tuesday. We were leaving on Monday, but now we're leaving on Tuesday because I need to get this done. I need to get the LVLs in and at least get these laying across where they're going. I'm going to leave them banded together so that they don't warp until I can put them where they go. But I don't want them laying on the ground anymore. I've already left them here longer than I should have, than I would have liked to, I should say. So I'm going to get this cut and then get working on those pier heights. Alright, well, first thing, I got to cut the bands. I didn't cut them before now because I didn't want it to start warping since it's been sitting here for longer than I would have liked it to. You gotta watch out when you cut these. Whenever your face is right, a lot of pressure on them. You don't leave them laying around either. You don't want to step on those. I'm leaving the bundles of each other together, but these are holding down everything. So. No rhyme or reason to what they did here. I like to bend these over too because they get sharp. Takes a little extra time, but better than going to the emergency room. since I've got a nice level platform up here where they've been stacked and they've got them crowned the proper way, I'm going to nail these together. So we've got about 3 feet extra on that one, but I'm going to nail it, obviously, nail it where it needs to be. I've got a saw, as I've showed before, the monster saw. I can cut through the whole thing in one shot. So I'm going to nail this together first, and then I'm going to put a sling on it and pick it up and get it over. I'll have to get the excavator to get it into place, but I can at least get it close with the skid steer. All right, here's a 10 1/4 saw that we call the monster saw. I got a bigger one, that's the Sasquatch, as you might have seen, but one shot through a foot, 4/8. So there is my templates, and there's the saw. I've had that for, it's almost 30, over 30 years old, I would say. Love it.
need me to do?
Huh?
Where do you need me?
Well, we're gonna do that one first. I'm just trying to get this out of my way. This one, so is it pointing this way?
Yeah.
It's going here.
Yeah.
So we come inside here. Alright. Gotta go set these beams in place. Hopefully this can reach. High speed. This is high speed too. Hopefully I can reach. It's gonna be close. Definitely going to be too long. Yeah. Slide that one down a little bit. Tighten it up. Tighten it up. That. No, tighten that. Otherwise it's going to slide. Okay. All right, so you saw that work, and I just wanted to show these because this is another Vevor product that I am testing out here, and I like it. You see it, it's got the big ring up top, it's got 1/2-inch chain, nice. I've got that big shackle that we used when that's the only one I could find that would fit. This is thick, but it's got lobster claws on the end. Yeah, it's a 5-footer, so they're perfect. So I like that. I didn't get sponsored by this. Vevor usually sponsors me, but they didn't sponsor me for this, but I just thought I would show it because I really like it. And it wasn't very expensive. I forget what it was, but I think it was like $75. So, but the reason I like this is because rather than if you hook the straps up there and you use the bucket to gain extra rollout distance, you're putting more strain on the straps. So those pretty much make it to the bottom of the bucket, so the straps are not pushing against the bucket, which is a good thing for the strap, that is. All right, we're gonna run out of light soon. I don't like this earliness. Only another, what, 25 days and we're on our way back to summer again. I love it. But anyway, beams are in. What I do when I run my beams across, I put it at the same height as the wall and then run my 2x plate across the top of it as well. It's also easier to nail the trusses into regular framing than it is to bang into an LVL. Even though I screw mine down, I use timber screws on those anyway, which I'll show when I do them. But those are in. This one's in. Beams are all set. The only reason these trusses are here, they're not in place. They were on top of the stack and they were in my way, so I set them down and just got them out of my way. So same with this one. This one's all set. So now the only thing that's ready to do is I'm going to move that pile over, lay out all the trusses. I'm going to lay it out starting with the main house here. This is the main part of the house. I'm kind of in the kitchen here where I'm standing, but I'm going to build everything off of to make sure that their foundation is totally square. So what I do, I'm going to start from the main part of the house and square everything else off that. So if they're off a little bit, I can overhang a quarter or whatever they did off. So yeah, so I'm happy with that. Wendy will be happy. She will see some progress tomorrow on getting these trusses in, but I just wanted to get this done and get this video up and going. So as usual, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.